Soundhound AI sitting at 477, 9:41 a.m. my time. You're looking at some charts here. Left hand side, we got on the top, we do have the 4 hour chart. On bottom, we have the 3 minute chart. So what's been happening here is I've been keeping an eye on an opportunity to add more. I already added 100 shares at about 490s in the 490 range. Now I'm just sitting here waiting to see if it comes down any lower. Yesterday in the Discord, I did mention, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, there. Let me see if I can move this over. I'm using two monitors today. I figured, you know what? It's time to use two monitors. So, hi Shades. I'm hoping you can answer a question for me. First, let me say thank you. I've made money with you 4 times in the short time I'm following you, and love your honesty and content. Should I get a? He wants to get a laptop. I guess he buys and sells on an iPad, and I'm like, bro, if you're trading on an iPad, props to you. I don't know how you do it, but you don't need a laptop to trade. Most people would trade on their phones, from what I heard. But where is it? I okay. The reason I didn't add sound yesterday was because Tesla earnings can cause the market to rise or fall, and glad we waited. We'll be able to buy in cheaper than if we had added yesterday. Market reaction today will be interesting as well, but at this point, I'm holding off on adding any new positions. We took advantage of the dump last time. We're going to do it again. So as you can see, these are the cycles that Soundhound has been going through since its retracement from that high of $10. So it came down to a low of 4, bounced back to 6, came down to 4, 6 again. Now we're just waiting for it to come down to 4, 380 to $4. But again, I almost added yesterday. I was tempted, but I'm like, nah. Tesla earnings is coming up. If earnings, yeah, we knew that if Tesla earnings were bad, it was going to cause the market to sell off. So I'm just waiting right now. I'm waiting to see if we're going to get buyers stepping in or if it's just going to fall. If it's going to fall, we're going to see it come down to our next level, which is going to be about 420. Haha, 420. I'm sure someone's going to make a joke somewhere around there. But 420 is the next level if it doesn't hold here. Buyers are trying to step in. As you can see, they stepped in back here at 479. Buyers are trying. They are. You can see by these wicks, but we'll see if it actually does hold. In the meantime, like I said, continue either. If you're confident in your play here, you can continue to average down. Like you can just continue buying as it goes back down to $4, or you can just wait and see if it comes back to $4. That's kind of there's that risk reward thing going on there. Where yeah, sure, if you yeah, some people don't like averaging down. I get it. But if you average down and then the stock never actually touches $4, let's say it comes down to 420 and then news drops and it just skyrockets to $10, you're going to miss out on the run because you didn't average down, because you didn't buy in, because you were just waiting to lump sum a big position at $4 and under. So that's kind of like the you risk missing out on the run in that sense. But if you do what I'm doing right now, which is I added 100 shares, but I'm not going to add yet. I'll add a little more when it comes down to 420. And then if it comes down to 380, I'll add an even bigger position there. So I add bigger as it comes down. And that way, if it does run at any point, because you never know, right? Soundhound could drop a PR tomorrow and say, partnership with McDonald's, this thing gaps up. And now those of you who waited for exactly $4 on the dot, you missed out. And so that's kind of like the risk is if you wait for $4 and it never comes, you miss out on the run if anything happens. If not, hey, if maybe it'll touch $4 and you get to buy big and buy cheap, and then when it comes back up, you know you didn't miss out on the run. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So that's why I added 100 shares and small. That's nothing. 100 shares. That's nothing. That was like what $470 or $490 in my case. But I'm not going to add any more. Let it fall. Let the market sell off. We'll buy again. I just showed you the cycles, and some people in the Discord were asking me some good questions, so I just wanted to address that. All right, take advantage. But if you think it's going to run soon and you don't want to miss out, feel free to average down as it goes lower. I'm not going to add more. If I average down, it's going to be at 420 and then at 380. So that's the game plan right there. Some people get mad at me when I change the game plan. Well, yeah, I'm going to change the game plan based on how the market moves. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't. If Tesla had pumped, we would have seen right now Soundhound would be at 5 plus, but that's not what happened. And we have a bunch of earnings coming up as well. So we kind of have to play it safe here and just be patient. Add a little bit of at a time. I wouldn't lump sum unless it does come down to 380s. That's where I would want to lump sum a big position. So just telling you my game plan. Okay, that aside, I don't think there's anything I wanted to touch on. We know their revenues have been growing year over year, especially for the first quarter. We got a 73% increase, and we do have earnings coming up, and they do predict they'll be worth way more than what they're worth right now. So I don't know. Let me check. I'm gonna check. I'm using two monitors, so it's kind of weird that you can't see what I'm typing. But yeah, Soundhound AI earnings. I believe they have been. Yeah, they beat last time, but then they missed December 2023. Oh, let me move it. I forgot I'm using two monitors now. Okay, yeah. So they beat last time, 2023 December. They missed, then a miss and a beat, and then June beat. So if their revenues are really going to continue to grow, especially with everything that's been happening, I would expect a beat. I would be shocked if we don't beat. I would be absolutely shocked if we don't beat, especially on revenue. I would expect revenues to beat. Me, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about what other analysts think. Me. This should be on earnings. That's what I'm thinking. And someone did ask me in the Discord if I think because they want to play the earnings. I don't play earnings. I don't really, it doesn't really move much on earnings. Let me just show you that before I continue here. If I press here where it says earnings, you'll see on earnings we kind of we don't get like huge gaps like this. We don't get these kinds of Tesla $20 moves up or down. We're not going to get big moves. We don't. The stock on earnings doesn't really move much. At most, it'll move $1, maybe $1.50, but it's not even worth playing the earnings in my opinion. If you're going to play earnings on a stock, just should have bought Tesla puts, I guess, at that point, right? Should have just gambled some puts. Tesla tends to dump on earnings. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I expect a beat. And if it does beat, we could see it move $1.50. If it doesn't, we'll see it come down. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? That's the beauty of the stock market. We don't know. The best we can do is position ourselves as cheap as possible. But despite the net loss of 33 million in the first quarter, they are monetizing its technology and they're narrowing their losses, and they do plan to report a profit down the road, especially going into 2025. So if they have been following through on all of this, we should see profitability. I don't know about this quarter, but in the coming year, 2025. So you got to think ahead. You got to think of the potential return if you buy right now and hold and wait for 2025 to come around. If we do get that McDonald's partnership, that's going to send it as well. Because there's two things that can cause this stock to go back to $10 plus. A, on its own, through fundamentals and good earnings year over year. B, huge catalyst. This catalyst here, NVIDIA disclosing that they invested in Soundhound, sent it from 160 to $10. So catalyst can absolutely send it. And someone in the Discord did ask me, like, hey, what do you think? Do you think Soundhound will go back to $10? And I'm like, you know what? Let me see, where is it? Where's the discussion room? Yeah. Where do you see it bounce back to? Potentially USD $10. And I said, yes, with the catalyst fluctuating on its own or due to market conditions, should see 5 or 6 again, since it's been doing that since its original retracement from that high of $10, because it retraced back down to like $3.40 to $4. And since then, it's been going up to $6, then back to $4, then back to $6. So there's like a nice 50% gainer right there if you just keep trading the range, essentially is what we're in. And that's really what we do on this channel. Like I showed you last time, Tilray, it's within a range. Where is it? Tilray, within a range here. You can see it very clearly. It's just been ranging since June of last year, which is beautiful. A stock that just keeps holding its bottom. Why not keep trading it? Same thing with Riot. So, but it requires a lot of patience. If you don't have the patience, definitely the Discord is not for you. But anyways, I've been going on a tangent here. Yeah, like I said, buyers are trying to step in. You can see here on the smaller time frames, they really want to hold it up here at 480, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think overall the market's going to come down. If we continue to have some big stocks like Tesla or Microsoft or even Nvidia, if we continue to have dumps on earnings for those stocks, we'll see the market as a whole come down as well. Because that's, I said this before. I think I mentioned this. Like, be careful around earnings because if the big boys are dropping, you're going to see the smaller stocks come down as well. I mean, Nvidia's at 117. It's trying to hold 118, I believe. Yeah, it's been trying, and it did hold it here. The bulls really are trying to hold Nvidia here, but it really isn't looking like it's going to hold it, and we're going to come down to 110. So if you see Nvidia drop this week, you're going to see Soundhound drop down to $4. So that's why I'm saying, like, there's just so much going on right now. But I think, oh yeah, and elections, of course, that as well. So who knows what's going to happen. But what we can do is buy nice and cheap.